Hi, and welcome to today's program. I'm your host, Cliff Enico, and we are going to be talking today about buying and selling the web-based business, a business that operates on the internet. I'm going to be your host for this program. I am a solo practitioner in Fairfield, Connecticut, admitted in New York and Connecticut. I have been practicing law for 40 years. 25 of those years I've been a solo practitioner, and I have been doing internet law probably as long as there has been a commercial internet, since the early 1990s. I represented some of the earliest internet web startups that got started around that time, and I have had literally dozens of clients who have bought and sold their web-based businesses over the past 20 years. So without any further ado, let's begin our program. First of all, if you doubt that I am a lawyer, this slide will definitely prove that I am. Lawyers always tell you what we're not going to do before we do anything. The most important disclaimer here is the second one. We are going to be talking a lot about legal and tax information and generally how to do these types of transactions, but nobody listening to this program should rely upon this as one-on-one legal or tax advice as to what you should do in a specific situation. That can only be done by retaining a lawyer's services and maybe paying a little bit of money. Okay, so let's begin. What is a web-based business? Okay, let's start with that. Basically, any business that operates on the web is a web-based business. Virtually, I would say most businesses that you encounter today are web-based businesses, but a brick-and-mortar business that just has a website and derives less than 10 to 15% of its income from web-based activities, I do not consider a web-based business. A web-based business is a company that primarily generates its income from web-based activities, either a website or from social media or from some other venue. There are four components to a web-based business. Generally, the web-based business has one or more websites that operate on one or more domain names, and domain names are called URL. That is the .com address. So www.cliffenico.com, that is my domain name for my law firm website. But these days, a website, up until around the year 2000, that is all that a web-based business did, was operate from one or more websites. But since 2000, we've had an explosion of other ways that web-based businesses can make money online. Many web-based businesses have social media accounts. They have pages on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the major social media websites. They also, if they're engaged in e-commerce, they probably have accounts on one of the major e-commerce platforms, which is eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Shopify is another one. And these accounts can create special difficulties when you're looking to buy and sell a web-based business. We'll talk about those later on in the program. Last but not least, a web-based business usually has one or more payment accounts with one of the various online payment providers: PayPal, Venmo, Alipay. There's a new one called Stripe.com, like a tiger's stripes.com. These accounts are not part of the website, but they're very important because they generate the revenue of the web-based business. These are the four basic components, and it's important to know them all because when you buy or sell a web-based business, all of these things have to transfer over to the buyer. I'm going to use a very homely analogy here. As I said, I've done a lot of these deals. Many of you remember doing jigsaw puzzles when you were a kid. If it was a rainy Saturday or a Sunday, you got a bunch of your friends. You went over to somebody's house and you put these things together on the kitchen table. And sooner or later, Mom wanted to start working on dinner, so you had to move the jigsaw puzzle to someplace else when it was like 80-90% complete. And of course, when you try to move a jigsaw puzzle from one place to another, what happens? A lot of the pieces fall off. It's a homely analogy, but it's the best one I've ever found for dealing with a web-based business sale. A web-based business, I mean, to some extent, all businesses are this way, but web-based businesses specifically are a collection of puzzle pieces. They're a jigsaw puzzle, and many of the puzzle pieces are connections connections to other websites. These are things that are not self-contained within the web domain name. These are things that operate by contract with other people. So the e-commerce accounts, the payments accounts. A web-based business is a web, if you will, of contacts and connections with other websites. And in moving these things from one place to another, it's very easy for some of these things to get lost.